Speaking Part 2. Describe a time when you were stuck in a traffic jam. You should say when it happened, where you were stuck, what you did while waiting, and explain how you felt in the traffic jam. Comprehensive structure for describe a time when you were stuck in a traffic jam. Total time frame 2 minutes, 120 seconds. 1. Introduction 0 to 15 seconds. Suggested ideas. Introduce the theme of being stuck in traffic. Being stuck in traffic is an experience we've all had at some point. A time when I found myself caught in a frustrating traffic jam is what I'll talk about. It's not unusual to experience a traffic jam, but there was one incident that stood out for me. Emphasize its significance in daily life. Traffic congestion can be incredibly inconvenient and even stressful, especially when you have time-sensitive commitments. This incident was memorable because it caused a major disruption to my plans. Mention why it was notable. I remember it clearly because it made me realize how unpredictable commuting can be. What made this moment significant was not just the inconvenience, but also how I handled the situation. Example: I'd like to talk about a time I was stuck in a traffic jam, which happened during a busy weekday. This experience was particularly memorable because it had a huge impact on my schedule, causing unexpected delays. 2. When it happened, 15 to 35 seconds. Suggested ideas. Specify the time and context. It happened on a rainy Monday morning. This occurred during rush hour on a weekday evening. I found myself stuck during the holiday season when traffic is especially heavy. Highlight the reason for the congestion. There was a car accident that blocked a lane, which led to a standstill. Construction work on the road had narrowed the lanes, slowing traffic to a crawl. Mention its impact on your schedule. I was on my way to an important meeting, and the delay made me late. I had planned to arrive early, but this traffic jam turned everything upside down. Example: this traffic jam happened on a weekday morning around 8 a.m., during rush hour, when everyone was heading to work. The cause of the congestion was a construction project that had reduced the number of lanes available for cars. 3. Where you were stuck, 35 to 55 seconds. Suggested ideas. Describe the location of the traffic jam. I was on the main highway just outside the city. It was on a busy intersection near the city center. The traffic jam happened on a major road leading to a business district. Mention the significance of the area. This route is typically one of the busiest, especially during peak hours. It's a well-known area for traffic bottlenecks. Discuss the surroundings. There were buildings on either side of the road, and the highway was lined with cars stretching for miles. As I looked around, there were many frustrated drivers, honking their horns and tapping their fingers on the steering wheel. Example: I was stuck on a busy highway that connects the suburbs to the city center, a route notorious for traffic congestion, particularly during peak hours. The long line of cars seemed endless, and everyone was frustrated by the standstill. 4. What you did while waiting, 55 to 85 seconds. Suggested ideas. Discuss how you passed the time. I tried to relax and listen to some music to pass the time. I checked my phone to catch up on messages and emails. I took the opportunity to make a few phone calls. Mention any actions to reduce stress. I took deep breaths to stay calm, knowing that stressing out wouldn't help. I simply focused on staying patient and hoped the situation would improve. Highlight any positive aspect of the waiting time. Strangely, the time spent in the traffic jam gave me a chance to think and reflect. It was a moment to clear my mind and prepare for the rest of the day. Example: while waiting, I decided to put on some calming music to make the time go by faster. I also checked my messages and read the news, trying to make the best of the situation rather than becoming frustrated. 5. How you felt in the traffic jam, 85 to 110 seconds. Suggested ideas. Discuss your emotional response. I felt a mixture of frustration and impatience as I was stuck in traffic. There was a sense of helplessness because there was nothing I could do to change the situation. It was a bit of a stressful experience, especially as time was ticking away. Explain the discomfort caused by the situation. The heat in the car made it even worse, and the constant honking only added to the tension. Sitting still for so long made me anxious, knowing I was getting later for my appointment. Reflect on your overall reaction. I realized how much time can be wasted in such situations, and it made me more mindful of planning ahead. At the same time, I had to remind myself that traffic jams are just a part of life, and staying calm was the best option. Example: I felt quite stressed and anxious because I had an important meeting to attend. The longer I was stuck, the more frustrated I became, especially since I couldn't do anything about it. However, I tried to remain calm and patient, telling myself it was out of my control. 6. Conclusion: 110 to 120 seconds. Suggested ideas. Summarize the experience. In the end, the traffic jam was an unfortunate situation, but it didn't have a major impact on my day. Although it was inconvenient, it didn't ruin my day completely. Reflect on any lessons learned. It reminded me to always leave extra time when commuting, just in case of delays. Now, I try to avoid routes prone to heavy traffic, especially during peak hours. End with a final thought. Overall, it was a frustrating experience, but one that happens to everyone from time to time. I try not to let these minor setbacks ruin my day and take them in stride. Example: to conclude, although being stuck in traffic was frustrating, it taught me the importance of planning my journeys better and being prepared for unexpected delays. It's a common part of urban life, and I've learned to handle it with a bit more patience. Sample answer. Describe a time when you were stuck in a traffic jam. I'd like to share a time when I was stuck in a traffic jam that was quite an unforgettable experience. It was a situation that disrupted my entire day, causing me to feel frustrated and impatient. The incident happened on a busy weekday when I had to travel to an important meeting, and it certainly left a lasting impression on me. This traffic jam occurred last Monday morning during the typical rush hour. The weather was slightly rainy, which often makes the traffic worse. I was on my way to work, and as I approached the main highway, I noticed that traffic was completely backed up due to an accident on the road. I was stuck on one of the busiest roads in the city, close to the city center. This particular area is prone to congestion because it connects both residential and business districts. During peak hours, the road often becomes a parking lot, which means people get trapped for long periods. While waiting, I try to stay productive by listening to an audiobook and checking emails on my phone. I also attempted to relax by taking deep breaths, trying to maintain composure but it was difficult due to the constant honking and slow pace of traffic. Initially, I felt a sense of disappointment because I was running late and the situation was completely out of my control. However, as time passed, I became more patient, realizing that there was little I could do but wait. I also felt a bit stressed, especially since I had an important appointment to attend, but the situation taught me the importance of keeping calm under pressure. In conclusion, being stuck in that traffic jam made me realize how much I rely on my daily routines and how unexpected events can disrupt everything. Although the experience was unpleasant, it also reminded me to manage my time better in the future and to stay adaptable when things don't go as planned. Academic phrases and collocations with simple explanations. Lasting impression. A memory or feeling that stays with you for a long time. Minimal spending. Spending very little money. Traffic jam. A situation where vehicles are stuck or moving very slowly due to congestion. Disrupted my entire day. Something that completely interferes with or interrupts your day. Frustrated and impatient. Feeling annoyed and unable to wait calmly. Busy weekday. A weekday when many people are working or commuting, usually leading to congestion. Ideal occasion. A perfect moment or time for something to happen. Spontaneous outdoor excursion. A trip or adventure planned at the last minute, typically to enjoy the outdoors. Backed up. When traffic or vehicles are not moving and are lined up for a long distance. Accident on the road. A crash or collision that causes traffic to stop or slow down. Busiest roads. Roads with the most traffic or busiest during certain times of the day. Connects both residential and business districts. Links areas where people live and work, causing more traffic. Congestion. A situation where there are too many vehicles or people in one place, leading to slow movement. Parking lot. A large open space where cars are parked, often used to describe extremely slow-moving traffic. Rush hour. The times of day when traffic is most congested, typically during morning and evening commutes. Stay productive. To continue working or achieving tasks even when circumstances make it difficult. Checking emails. Reading and responding to emails on a digital device. Maintain composure. To remain calm and not lose control of your emotions, especially in stressful situations. Honking. The sound of car horns being pressed, usually indicating frustration or an attempt to get someone's attention. Slow pace of traffic. Traffic that is moving very slowly due to congestion or other factors. Disappointment. The feeling of being upset or let down when something does not meet your expectations. Keep calm. To remain peaceful and not get upset, especially in difficult situations. Under pressure. In a situation where there is stress, urgency, or high expectations. Manage my time better. To plan and use time more efficiently. Stay adaptable. To remain flexible and adjust to new or changing situations. Unexpected events. Situations or occurrences that are not planned or foreseen. Out of my control. Something that cannot be influenced or changed by the individual. Run late. To be delayed and not arrive on time. On my way. While traveling to a destination. Leaving a lasting impression. making a memorable impact that people will remember for a long time. Peak hours, the busiest and most crowded times during the day, typically during morning and evening. Emotional reaction, a response that involves feelings or emotions to a situation. Stress levels, the amount of pressure or anxiety someone is experiencing. Staying patient, the act of waiting calmly without getting annoyed or upset. Calm under pressure, the ability to remain composed and not panic when stressed or in a difficult situation. Overwhelmed, feeling emotionally or mentally affected by too many tasks or stress. Frustration, the feeling of being upset because something is difficult or not going as planned. Maintain composure, to keep a level of control over emotions, particularly in difficult circumstances. Random incident, an unplanned event that happens unexpectedly, often without warning. Remain stuck, to stay in the same position without making progress or movement. Stuck in traffic, being unable to move forward due to congested traffic. Completely backed up, the road or traffic is entirely blocked or very slow moving. Take deep breaths, a way of calming oneself by breathing deeply and slowly. Completely out of control, a situation that cannot be controlled or managed by the person involved. Fast-paced lifestyle, a way of life that is busy, often involving a lot of activity or speed. Long periods, extended amounts of time. Difficult circumstances, challenging or hard to deal with situations. Highly stressful, causing or relating to a lot of stress or anxiety. Minimize disruptions, to reduce or lessen interruptions or disturbances. Waiting in a queue, standing in line while waiting for something to happen or be processed. Rely on my daily routines, to depend on the usual and established ways of doing things each day. Completely out of my hands, a situation that is beyond a person's control or influence. Keep a clear mind, to remain rational and not overwhelmed by emotions or stress. Made me realize, cause me to understand or become aware of something. Typical weekday, a normal working day, often characterized by regular activities and routines. Significant lesson, a meaningful or valuable learning experience from a situation. Personal transportation, using one's own vehicle, car, bike, etc., to travel from one place to another. Move forward, to progress or continue towards a goal or destination. Driving frustration, the feelings of irritation or stress caused by driving, especially during traffic jams. Remain patient, to continue waiting calmly without becoming upset.